Hello and welcome. My name is Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay. I make videos about what's sold. What's sold video. Try to cut some more common things I say down. Alright, there is 28 for 727 and 704 product cost received. So most of it looks like it's going to be domestic. Find out what's sold. D16, John P. Key. John P. Key DVD. 14. I'm going to mention it now because it came to mind. I figure sometimes it makes it easier because sometimes I'll tell myself something and then I'm like, oh, yes, well, I'll say that at the end and then I forget. So someone commented about the promoted increase or whichever on eBay coming up on the 13th or whichever date it is. So my reply, my take, yeah, I knew that was coming. But my take and how I explained it is 60% of my sales from last year sold promoted, and I promote at 2%. So if 60% of whatever the total, let's just say it was 100K, that amount isn't really going to hurt a whole lot at that. If everything then is promoted at 2%, $2,000 over the and let's just say it is, make it the easiest way. It's very, very, very little amount over the grander scheme of things. There's an option to not promote. I'm sure there's going to be some variances, some little ways on how to not be hit so much with it, but it's 2%. It's an additional cost over the entirety. It's not really, it's still only 2%. I mean, it could be, I could say 1,000 or 2,000, and it's going to sound like a lot, but when that's over 50,000 or 100,000, or depending on the amount that you promote at, there's that. I have theories on why they're doing it. I just think that it's going to weed out the smaller sellers and detract a lot of it's going to detract some people. However, it's not a mandatory opt-in. So you have an option to promote and be within the realm of what the new adjustment is, or not promote. If you promote, or if you don't, and then you start promoting, and if you have $30,000 more in sales because of that promoted, that less than 1,000 that you paid for 30,000 more, it costs 1,000 to sell 30,000. It's just a little more. It's like your price of packaging materials going up, or gasoline going up by 10, 20 cents a gallon. It's just another cost. Last of the summer wine, D12. So that's my take on that. Am I going to still promote? Yeah. Is it going to slow me down? No. Make sure this is the right one. Series 19 and 20. Yep, 19 and 20. 16. All right, get this thing. Okay, I guess we can maybe call this a manifested sale. So this is some rock type. Probably can't see those too well. Rock type cassettes in here that were most of them were left over from the business estate sale. On the left are sealed. On the right is open. Actually, there's a couple down here on the bottom left, that are open. So for the most part, they're sealed. All of them are sealed. So I had this box. I don't know if I got the box there. I think I did. But these are all the ones that were $10 and less and really weren't worth it to me to put individually. So I put them in here. I mean, there's Zeppelin, The Who, Rolling Stones, Beach Boys, the band, Robert Palmer, Springsteen, Eagles, Paul Simon, Townsend, I don't know, Neil Cicada, the Babies, Crosby, Stills, John Haidt, David Lee Roth. I mean, those are more of the rock ones. Wasn't up for too long, right? Because it was back in October, November when I went to that estate sale. And this whole thing right here, $92. So how much does it weigh? I don't know. It's probably 10 pounds. Probably more than that, because there's gallon of milk was more than that, or less than that. Probably 10 pounds. 04. So East Coast. Won't be too bad to ship, but still, it's tapes that I wasn't going to do much of anything with, and I had enough of one genre that I could fit in this. There we go. And it's why I say manifested sale. It's because I got those classical cassettes, and then I went through my other cassettes, the other junk ones, non-rock, that will never see the light of day of a listing. And I got the classical, and I added those to the already 30, so there was a lot of 40. And I listed that, and then later on that day, this cassette lot sold. So I had the rock one on auction. It didn't sell, so I just put it up for like $100, whichever. Now it's on sale. Well, it was. And then the classical. So I listed the classical, and then that sold. A cabinet DVD player. All right, this cabinet. No, it's upside down. This is like a tabletop, cabinet top DVD player. It's clean. It works. Matter of fact, the picture I have seat of Chucky plugged in. I used to sell quite a few of these. Same thing with like the DVD VCR player things. Used to see them because they'd sell, but they were just more work to run the DVD, to run the VHS in it. Most of all the time, they always worked. There never was a problem. Maybe it might be a broken or missing button. I was usually able to have or find remotes to it, so I wasn't spending that extra $8-10 to have the remote with the listing. But it's just more work, more material, more everything. Just and this one's kind of stained. I've had it for years. Anyhow, $53. Now, what did they regularly sell for? Probably $70-80, really clean. Now, just imagine if I had 15 items of that size that required cutting down and chopping down and wrapping and all that. I wouldn't be done with packaging until like 2-3 o'clock. Well, I don't know. I mean, I never sold upwards of 20 or 30 or 40 a day, let alone of the quantity of that many big items. But I can remember bigger items, yeah, they take more time. So glad to see now, like the cassette lot. Yeah, that's something that I don't list that stuff because it's just, well, the cassette lot, yes, but the bigger stuff, physical media, it's just easy to work with. D13, Fantastic Lies. And this person actually wrote a note in this order, and I'm going to read because it's interesting because they basically gave the consensus, if not, I could figure out from that. However, so this is $12. They gave the consensus or synopsis of that DVD. Hi, thank you for the order on this 30 for 30 DVD. I live close to Durham and go to Duke for my medical care and I support all of Duke's athletes. I thought from the start this accusation was false and was a travesty to the lacrosse team, especially the 3 young men she accused. So some woman accused some people in a lacrosse team at Duke University about something. And I didn't write the year. 2006 is when this happened. And yeah, it does say exactly that on the back. All right. Somebody took the time to write all that, which is very, very rare. All right. Got to get a tape. David Bowie. Rise and Fall. Ziggy Stardust. Okay, so I had multiple of these, right? And one that's a little bit is come undone. However, this is the one that they bought. Sealed Ziggy Stardust 52. Titanic and Pet Shop Boys. We don't need another hero. I have the Mad Max soundtrack on 45. All right, this Titanic, which is open, and Avatar, which is sealed, Ultimate Experience Blu-ray 3D set 24. So one's sealed, one's not. Complete sealed $50 maybe. Girls $9. There's not much on that. It does take, I do put that in a 4x4x4 box. Maybe it's 4x4x3. And I don't open the box up. I just keep it flat and put that in there wherever that opening is. Make sure it's at a corner fold. And then that goes in a Mylar envelope that I got a whole bunch of a long time ago. That probably paid like 5 cents each for those. And this workout, D27. All right, this rebuild. There's 2 out of the 3 discs in this. I got $37. So complete, they're like $50, $60, $70. So that's already lowered price because it's missing disc 1. And it's on sale. A Portal in Time book. B4. 17. In the coal mine. Don't know where the coal mine is. Thank you for visiting the coal mine. Josh Finley. Signed. I don't know why I did not write signed in there. Maybe because it would have been the only one. Bass. Feel the bass. Feel the bass. Feel the bass. When I used to build speakers, we used to test the speakers with DJ Magic Mike. And he has one out there that the bass, the sample of the bass goes down to 8 hertz. You can't even hear 8 hertz. You can feel 8 hertz, but you can't hear it. And the entire feel the bit, and it just goes. So if you want to test your bass on your speakers and the actual response and all that, DJ Magic Mike. Feel the bass. And you can feel the bass if you have good enough speakers for it. But this is not that. This is a different one. It just reminded me of that. Bass 305. So I also have base overload, which is not it. And I sold another one base type of these before. It can't be a newer one. It looks like that. Base 305. Let's make sure. It is that. Base Alliance Overlord. All right. 34. Casting book. B2. This casting book. Hardcover. Someone came in with a little lower offer, but books I tend to be more lenient on because I don't want them sitting around much of any longer. But I am doing a call either way. Someone's interested. Only had 2 other views over the 5 months I had it. So $20. And the price that it was would have been like 22. So it wasn't really that much more. Oh, other way. C33. Phil Wickman. Wick. And it is sealed. There it is. Phil Wickman. 17. Sealed. D36. Rich Man, Poor Man. Rich Man, Poor Man. Looks like an 9 disc. 9 disc set. 27. It's not really like a ton. I don't think I had it for too long. Quite a bit, but I probably paid $1 for it. I don't know. Or $2. It's just a little more work to take out all 9 discs. And if something like this, if all 9 discs needed resurfaced, I would not get it. Because that's just a lot of extra work for something that would be a $25, $30 sale. If it was 2 discs for $20, $30, yeah. Executive decisions you got to make all the time. D3. Sopranos. One I just listed. $11. Gotta get a book. This clean copy of Fahrenheit 451. That's a 1974 37th print. So since it's clean edge, clean cover, clean spine. Otherwise, they're maybe $10, $12 books. When they're cleaner, that extra $3, $4, $5, $6 definitely adds up for books when you could get them for 25 cents or 50 cents, right? So 17. I don't remember, but that's more likely what I paid. 25, 30, 50 cents. Could have been $1. But if it was worn and was good to a very good, that's very good plus. Yeah, those few bucks add up. D45. Combat Flight Simulator. 25. C22. Figures. Should be right up front anyhow. It is. Stardust. 13. Gypsy and Demons Divinities. Book. 1973, first edition. There's a little writing on the front page. $40. 40. Hopefully. There's not many more from here. No, there still are. All right, an Onkyo remote control for 21. C28. Might be real easy. It is because of this color. Timothy Schmidt. 17. Yeah. D16. Smash. 19. D15. Star Wars. Okay, well, you think there it is. Star Wars. Sealed. Every Menace 2-disc. That's what it was. And it's sealed. 17. So it's still franchise stuff. It's sealed. It's clean. It's a 2-disc, not a 1. Gives it a few more things if you're like, maybe I should scan it. Yep, sure. Glad I did, right? All right. 17. Dean Fogelberg, C29. This was one that I was about to give away to the person who bought the last Dean Fogelberg. And I grabbed the wrong ones. Well, I grabbed the right ones. This was also included in my grab. Love and Time, 17. So I rescued it from somebody getting a free CD, which would have been my mistake. Most mistakes are bad, but that would have been a good mistake for the buyer of the other Fogelberg thing. No, was that Christopherson? Either way. D4. Full Metal Alchemist. Is this the one I've had for a while? No. Full Metal Alchemist. 42. How many more? Okay, 3 more. D46, Mystery of Prayer. Shaw. Left that one all truncated. Mystery of the Prayer Shaw, $11. All those boxes down on the bottom, the 4 boxes I have on the bottom right shelf, the high 40s, and a box that's labeled N1. Each of those have like 6 or 7 DVDs in it. So yeah, I will be doing some consolidating just to make it better. Ted Nugent, C48. Ted Nugent, Super Hits. 13. And then Pat Benatar. This is a small lot. Synchronistic Wanderings. No, it's not a lot. It's just a small set. 19. It's a BMG as well. Oh, and that other one that came in, right? Unless they bought it on an offer that I had sent out, and they still had it. Yeah, it must have been, because the price comes up as $19.09. So it must have been an offer that I had sent out to them, because they didn't use a coupon, because it's not showing up that it came up as a coupon purchase. Yeah, it had to have been. B25. Winning State Wrestling Book. 19. So that turns out to 740 something. 747 for 29 that are going out, the 29. And 733 product cost received. All right, so do that. Get stuff or video stuff packaged. Get the sale back on correct. to where it's going to run for an entire year. Because anytime when I do a sell similar now, I'm just going to, let's just say it's listed at, just because I know these ones better, at 3210, and its typical sale price is going to be 2402 or '08 or something. I'll see that, and then the amount I'm going to drop it down, I'll just drop it down. Since it's 24, I'll make it 2292, whichever. Now everything's going to be on a regular price when I do the sell similars for that, and I'll just vary that, not vary, but I will take more down and do more little intricate things here and there with that as time goes on. There's a whole year for that yet. And then when my wife gets back, then I can go out to Beulah. So we have an older, like a 25-year-old Ford Escape. I'm not going to go into the story how I got all that, but she had said for a handful of times that she goes to turn the key and it doesn't want to fire up. And months and months and months, every once in a while we'll do something like that. But she goes, just pops the hood, just wiggles the battery cable. And I looked at it one day, a handful of days ago, and it was fine. The terminal wouldn't move. The cable sent firm, and they were just up here, literally one block up the road. She's like, "Well, I won't do that." So we went up there yesterday, and it's like there was a disconnect. The cable was frayed, but it wasn't broken. So I put the kind of went in there and looked and moved the terminal around, moved it a little, and it still wasn't doing any difference. I was trying to make it to where the cable was trying to make contact more, but you don't want to hold on to that cable while they're sending those amount of amps through. You're not going to complete a circuit, but if anything happens, it's enough to tell you, no, I don't want to do that. I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of, and then the cable just started to just completely pull out from the clamp for the battery terminal. Well, all I have to do is get enough tension on the terminal from the loose battery cable to get it to fire up. Fire it up, brought it here. It'll be able to do it again when I take it down to the shop because it's got to get an oil change, rotate the tires. There's a small exhaust leak sound coming, so that exhaust was most of it was redone like 3 years ago. So there's a small sound leak coming somewhere. You can hear it for sure. It's not loud or super annoying. All right. Yeah, a few things to do today, and then the weather is going to be in the 40s and darn near 50 degrees this week, so I'm going to hit some distant stores long as fuck video. All right, so that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Comment down below. There we go. Subscribe, share. It's all free. Help me. Help. We're helping everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.